What up and welcome back. I'm Jane, the plainest Jane, and I serve syrup in the form of Black news and celebrity updates. So tonight is the big night. Tonight is when Wendy Williams documentary, at least part one, half of it is releasing tonight, and the other half is airing or releasing tomorrow. And this documentary is either going to tell the truth or shed some light on some people or things surrounding Wendy Williams. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. And so, with this documentary release, and I feel like it's either or, right? Wendy Williams is either doing as bad as this documentary is portraying her as, or her goddaughter, her cousin, and a couple of other people who are close to her in her corner are saying she's actually a lot better than what the documentary portrays, because the documentary was filmed last year. So it's going to shed light on Wendy Williams' health, her wellness, her stability or lack thereof. And also it's going to shed light on this caregiver slash guardian treatment. She has a temporary guardian court appointed to her right now based on her woes with Wells Fargo and some suspicions of financial abuse and just money mismanagement, right? And so we're going to get into it. I have some updates. You all know I brought you the video the other day of Wendy Williams. And so I definitely want to get into some updates. Okay. I do enjoy covering Wendy Williams on this channel. I've always covered her on this channel. And I think in honor of Wendy Williams, I'm going to dig back into some of my older videos and kind of just do a bit of a marathon and just kind of remind you of the Wendy that I knew, that I remember when she was closer to her prime than right now. So without further ado, y'all know things are always sticky in Hollywood and in real life. And as I stated in my first piece of coverage pertaining to Wendy Williams this week, I think that this peddles both. Everyone's going to get old and have different ailments and really endure the challenges of old age. At least we can hope so, right? So that is a real life thing for everybody who gets to be of a certain age, but also with Wendy Williams being an A-list celebrity and someone who's covered a host of different celebrities throughout her life, this definitely peddles both Hollywood and real life. Very interesting turn of events. So listen, without further ado, you all make sure y'all are on my bus. Y'all know what y'all got to do. Pay your fare, okay? I'm going to play the intro. Be sure to drop some pancakes down below in the chat while I play the intro. I need to see your pancakes, and I need to see y'all support the stream by hitting that thumbs up button. Let's go, everybody. All right.
The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out?
All right, and we are back. Let's get right into these Wendy Williams updates. Please feel free to share this video with someone who likes to stay abreast, who's curious about Wendy Williams, and share it via text message in your group chat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, however it is that you share videos. Make sure you share this thing, okay? So I want to get into this Wendy Williams news, and I have some footage of Wendy Williams, kind of like a then and now. You know, we watched that trailer in my first piece of coverage earlier this week surrounding Wendy Williams, and it really brought a lot of people to tears. It was a very heartfelt clip considering how Wendy has lost a bit of her cognitive functions, right? And so Wendy Williams' guardian just filed a sealed lawsuit against Lifetime's parent company. I find this to be really interesting, and that is why I say this documentary, I think, is going to shed light on some things that it seems as though Wendy's current caregivers really want to remain hush hush. I don't think it's a coincidence that Wendy Williams is estranged from her family, right? They're not allowed to call Wendy in the facility that she's in. They don't even know which facility she is in. All they can do is answer the phone when Wendy calls and hope that they don't miss the call, right? And so the timing of this sealed lawsuit is very much suspicious. And it was filed yesterday. The documentary releases today. The woman who was acting on behalf of Wendy Williams as Wendy Williams' temporary court-appointed guardian, her name is Sabrina Morrissey. And she just filed a suit against A&E Television Networks, who is the parent company of Lifetime. And you all know that the documentary is airing on Lifetime. And because it is under seal, this means that we really can't see, we the public, we can't see all the details or exactly what she's running the court for. But most of us with common sense can put two and two together, right? She's doing this. This is a tactic used in an attempt to halt the release of some sort of publication, whether it be a book, something on TV, streaming sites, whatever the case is. It is to stop something from being released. So not only did she file a lawsuit, she's also filed a restraining order. I'm going to give y'all the syrup over here. This is the real deal. So the question is, considering the fact that she is a part of Wendy Williams' current team, what are Wendy's current caregivers hiding that they don't want this documentary out? What are they hiding? Are they afraid the public? Are they afraid the family is going to see something? Even more sad and strange, Wendy Williams' own family did not know that she was diagnosed with 2 new ailments. They found out with the rest of the world via a damn press release. Okay, so there's really some shady stuff going on with Wendy Williams and her current caregiver team. And that is extremely unfortunate. But we're going to keep going with this information. You know what? Better yet, let me show you the clip. I can't even hold on to it any longer. I'm going to show you a look at Wendy Williams then, well, what they're calling then, because they're saying she's in a much better condition versus the state that they say she was in a while ago. So I'll show you a clip that is taken from the documentary. And then I'm also going to show you a clip of Wendy Williams in spirits 2 weeks before she was thrown into this conservatorship or guardianship that Wells Fargo kind of played a hand in initiating, right? So let's go ahead and get into it. And then we're going to read the caption below this clip. Okay, make sure y'all hit thumbs up if you haven't already. Thank you. If you're on your way in, please be sure to pay your fare by hitting that like button.
See a neurologist to find out if I'm crazy.
Oh my God, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. I have to sit down again. I have no money. And I'm gonna tell you something. If it happens to me, it could happen to you.
Did you drink this whole thing today?
Keep it there.
Okay.
Keep it there.
People around who are yes people and allowing this to continue.
This is all too much. No idea where we are. This doesn't look like anything familiar.
I think she's losing memory. Have you guys noticed that?
How dare him? I control men. My life.
Right now, she's weak and vulnerable, and she needs to be around people who aren't going to take advantage of that.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
And I like the company I keep there. And I do what I can. I do what I can.
Okay, so keep in mind, this is a clip from her former attorney. This is an attorney that was immediately relieved of his duties as soon as the new caregivers came into the picture. Okay, so they pushed him to the side, and he wanted to show this, and this was 2 weeks before the guardianship began. We're going to get into this caption because it was a very long caption in its entirety. But first, take a look at this clip. This is definitely a different version of Wendy before she went under her current court-appointed guardian's care. Okay.
Please.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
And I like the company I keep there. And I do what I can. I do what I can.
I see you looking real healthy now.
Please, Kevin, please.
Yeah, but you also like how it's really private, because I know you like gyms if they're private, of course.
Yeah, I like it. And I also like food, which is why I've got to keep on my routines with going to the gym, you know?
Yeah. And like, how have you been eating? Like, because everyone that looks at you have beautiful skin. Like, people want to know what's the secret.
Thank you. I'm not giving you points for saying that to me. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I'm trying.
No, but it's I was born.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
Do you all notice the difference in Wendy before she went into this guardianship and now? Well, before she went to the guardianship versus what we're seeing in the documentary, what we've seen of Wendy Williams being, spotted out and about. We've all kind of seen troubling or concerning clips surrounding Wendy Williams at one point or another within the last, I would say, 2 years, give or take, right? It's a big difference. It's a big, big, big difference. So I'm going to get into reading the rest of that caption because it is long, coming from her attorney, after I get into the rest of these details surrounding Lifetime and the Guardian suing this company to try to stop or halt the release of the documentary that is airing this evening. So Wendy's current court-appointed guardian, Sabrina, is also seeking a temporary restraining order. Again, often the tactic used when someone wants the judge to step in and halt the release of some sort of publication. And again, both the lawsuit and the restraining order are under seal, but considering the initials WWH riddled and scattered all throughout the paperwork, we're assuming that that is Wendy Williams-Hunter, right? So the people have found it. You know, it's been found. We can't see the details, but we can see initials. And that is a very common practice for celebrities when they want something to remain under seal, to just use their initials to refer to them within the paperwork, okay? And so, like I said, they wanted to stop the documentary from releasing today. According to Lifetime, it's not happening, but most people can put two and two together. Now, I do want to show you this statement that Lifetime has released. Show you this statement because they have since released some information pertaining to this case, this situation. And here it is here. Let me make this bigger on the screen. Lifetime appeared in court today, and the documentary Where is Wendy Williams will air this weekend as planned. So there's that. That's what Lifetime, you know, has to say about the situation. Okay. And so let's see, get into the rest of these details. So what's interesting in this scenario is within the documents, the judge actually ordered all of the documents to remain temporarily under seal and set a hearing date for next week to determine whether they should stay that way as the case plays out. So maybe they'll unlock or, you know, unseal the documents. Maybe they won't. That is yet to be determined by the judge. So it's still slated to come out. But here's the thing about it. The court-appointed guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, she's a day late and a dollar short, okay? Because it hasn't stopped the release of the biopic from airing this evening. And I already showed you the statement from Lifetime. And it looks like the courts sided with Lifetime/A&E. A&E is the parent company of Lifetime. And the thing about it is the court-appointed guardian has actually already filed an appeal. She's already filed an appeal. So it seems like because she filed the appeal like within the same day that she even filed this stuff, that she had the appeal already drafted up, seems that she was kind of predicting that the courts were going to side with Lifetime and A&E. So she filed that quick. She's moving real fast, too fast for me. And so I do want to get into how Wendy Williams has broken her silence. But first, let me go ahead and make sure I do not forget to read you all the statement from her attorney. And also ask y'all to support the stream with a good old-fashioned like. Okay? All right, so here's the very long caption from Wendy Williams' former attorney that I went ahead and pulled for you all. Okay, like I said, it was long, and this was underneath of that clip that I showed you earlier in the video. And thank you for sharing this with somebody via text message or however you share videos across social media. So her former attorney says, I waited this decision for a very long time. I've kept silent because I've been threatened with physical or financial harm, but I just couldn't keep silent any longer. While Wendy was in Miami with her son, I would often witness candid moments of their mother and son dynamic. I could tell that he loves his mother so much. And as you see, the feeling was mutual. You can clearly see the difference between Wendy's well-being during her time here in Florida with her son caring for her and her lack thereof in New York under this, quote, guardianship. These Wendys are not the same. How did her health deteriorate so quickly? And why isn't her only child allowed to be by her side? She wasn't like that when he cared for her. Ask the hard questions. I took this video literally 2 weeks before Wendy was court ordained to return to New York to respond to a guardianship petition filed by her bank. Let that sink in. I'll read that again because it's a really good point. I took this video literally 2 weeks before Wendy was court ordered to return to New York to respond to a guardianship petition filed by her bank. Let that sink in. So that's why I said earlier in the video, Wells Fargo has a hand in why Wendy Williams is caught up in all of this mess in the first place. Her former attorney continues by saying, my mother passed away on October 1st, 2022 from complications related to her ALS diagnosis. And I feel so blessed and grateful that I was able to spend every second that I could with her before she left this earth. If Wendy's diagnosis is true, now more than ever, her son should be allowed that same grace. He deserves it. And most importantly, Wendy deserves it. That is what her former attorney had to say. It definitely seems as though her former attorney certainly has her best interest, her best wishes, certainly more than the people who she is smothered and surrounded by now. Something does not smell right with her current caregivers. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. I pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts on this? Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Wendy Williams speaking out. She broke her silence and she's spoken out via a statement. I wish it was a video clip. I wish we could have heard her say it herself, but this is a statement that was released by her and her team. Okay. So Wendy Williams, first and foremost, she says that she is grateful for the love and support that she is receiving from fans and otherwise. And Wendy also says, quote, I want to say I have immense gratitude for the love and kind words that I've received after sharing my diagnosis of aphasia and frontotemporal dementia, also known as FTD. Let me say, wow, your response has been overwhelming, end quote. And then Wendy also adds, the messages shared with me have touched me, reminding me of the power of unity and the need for compassion. I hope that others with FTD may benefit from my story. I want to also thank the Association for Frontotemporal Denigration for their kind words of support and their extraordinary efforts to raise awareness of FTD. I'm sorry, I said denigration. It's degeneration. She finishes with this. I continue to need personal space and peace in order to thrive. Please just know that your positivity and encouragement are deeply appreciated. So, that is what Wendy has said via a release statement. So maybe the statement was best. Who knows what state she is in now, right? So a written out statement definitely, I guess it'll suffice. This is all just a really sad turn in events. I want to know if you watched. So we watched part of the interview that Wendy Williams' niece, who was also her goddaughter, who was like a daughter to her. They were very, 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 very close. And we watched part of that interview. There were like 8 minutes that was released that day, and then a more extended version released yesterday. And I was able to catch all of that. And it really does seem that her niece is a really good advocate for and to Wendy, who is not benefiting in any way. She's not being paid. There are no benefits for her to mooch or leech off of. And it seems as though she's swatting away different moochers and leeches. And Wendy's niece is really laying down what we see, right? She's laying down how what we see in the documentary and the recent clips is a different version of Wendy compared to how she's coming along now. We'll see. Only time will tell if we have access to her present day, right? And they claim she's much better now than how she's being presented in the documentary. I think that, like I said, I think that her goddaughter / niece genuinely has her best interest at heart, keeping money hungry and financially abusive friends away from her. There was a clip circulating earlier today of people who were showing up to see Wendy while her niece was there. And Wendy would say, that's my friend. But also she was paying this person. So what are you paying this person if they're your friend for? Wendy, without having all her cognitive skills, she is a vulnerable adult. Wendy is a vulnerable adult. And people are going to come around her and tell her what she wants to hear in order to get some money from her. They don't really care. And her niece was swatting some of those people away from her and letting her know that she is being targeted by the people around her who are just saying whatever to get a paycheck. So I think that her niece / goddaughter really does have her best interest and is in her corner. That is what I think. I do think after watching the interview with the goddaughter, all of the clips, Of course, we haven't seen the documentary yet. I do think that her current court-appointed guardians, custodianship, whatever you want to call it, her current caregivers, I think that they should be ashamed. But I know that they aren't, because they so shamelessly have her money all sold up and won't allow her contact. She is estranged from her own family. As her attorney was saying in that very long caption, she deserves to spend what could very well be some of her final moments with her son and with her family in general. The courts allowed the temporary guardian to cut the family out. And that is really unfortunate. The courts never even considered allowing her son or a family member or someone with her genuine best interest to make some difficult decisions for Wendy. Instead, they gave it to whoever was present and associated with her bank accounts. That is really extremely unfortunate, in my opinion. Like I stated in the beginning of this video, Stickies, I think that this documentary is either going to tell the truth or shed some light on some people or some things, Wendy Williams' health, wellness, stability, lack thereof. And most importantly, I really hope that it shines a light on her caregivers or the current treatment that she has been subjected to under her temporary court-appointed guardian. All of these things are part of the conversation. And really, I want to know what you all think about this. Listen, stick with us. What time is it? It's 9:07. As soon as we get off here, we are headed over to watch the rest of Who the Did I Marry? We got through parts 1 through 25. We're going to be watching parts 26 through 50 tonight, live together on the bus right after this one ends. You definitely want to stay for that. But listen, Stickies, I pass the question off to you, okay? What are your thoughts on Wendy's current state of affairs? What are Wendy's current caregivers hiding, if anything, in your opinion? And will you be watching the documentary tonight and or tomorrow? Any and all thoughts? I want y'all to keep it sticky and real with me down below in them comments. I can't wait to hear from you. Even if you're chasing the bus, listen, we got over 220 people here right now. If everybody listen, take a second to make sure you support the stream by hitting that like button. And also take a moment just to make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any of this revolving around Black news and celebrity updates. I cannot wait to finish watching Who the F Did I Marry with you all this evening. That should be really, 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 really fun. Okay, we had a good time being tired of that woman, but also watching it was really something else. So I look forward to watching this with you all this evening. Put a 4 in the chat if you are going to be watching that, if you have been watching Who the F Did I Marry, and if you are going to kick it on the bus with us this evening, okay? Don't forget, there are lots of different ways you can support the channel. You can support and hit up the Cash App with the barcode on the screen, or listen, you don't have to support the channel by opening your wallet. You can simply hit like, share this video with somebody via text message on social, share it, or just subscribe to the channel, okay? Any and all ways that you support the channel are greatly appreciated. Thank you all for being here with me this evening. I am going to pull this bus off, and I am going to see you in a little less than 10 minutes to finish watching the last half of Who the F Did I Marry, which luckily there's only an hour left of it. So although we're halfway through, we have a lot less to watch than what we watched the first time. Okay. So with all that being said, listen, everybody, thank you for your company. Make sure you thumbs up or down. Either way, I appreciate it. But definitely drop some pancake emojis down below. And please make sure to stay beautiful, Black, and blessed until the next video. I love you so much, Stickies, and I'm going to catch you in the next one. Deuces. But that's it. If you want to catch more of my commentary on Black culture or vital and trending information, be sure to subscribe by hitting that little circle in the middle of the screen, or I'll catch you in one of these rectangles to the right in another video. I'll see you there.